I heard right after you sold PayPal, before the other two companies, you went and bought a McLaren S1 because
F1, yes.
F1.
Right.
Sorry, that's the same part. So
right,
because, partially because you were going to race cars with Jim Clark and Larry Ellison.
No, well, not really. No, actually, and I never did. Although that was one of the things that was sort of talked about at one point, but I never did. In fact, I've never raced anyone with McLaren. I had it for several years, and I put 11,000 miles on it, and I drove it from LA to San Francisco. It was my daily driver, which is a crazy car to have as a daily driver, particularly on the 405.
So, but I understand when you got it,
yeah,
you're driving down 280, and you wrecked it.
No, well...
And let me just tell the story, and then you can correct it. Because the story's great, and I hope it's
yeah,
true.
let's see if the story that you tell is actually, how that compares to the reality, because the reality is pretty messed up.
So, hopefully the reality's better. So you wreck the car, you get out of the car, you're doubling over with laughter. And the person with you said, why are you laughing that you just wrecked this car? And you said, no, you don't know the funny part. It wasn't insured.
Well, the punchline's correct. Yeah, so I was driving up Sand Hill Road with Peter Thiel, one of the co-founders of PayPal. We're actually driving to see Mike Moritz. This is in 2000. And so we're driving up Sand Hill Road. I didn't really know how to drive the McLaren. And Peter says, so what can this do? And then I'm probably number one on the list of famous last words. I said, watch this. So I floored it and did a lane change on Sand Hill. And so the McLaren has no traction control or anything. It's massive power to the wheels, sort of 640 brake horsepower, and it only weighs a ton. So it has massive power to weight. It can brake the wheels free at 80 miles an hour. So broke the rear end free and started spinning. And I sort of, let's see, I think it was sort of, I was going straight and then turned, and I remember seeing the cars coming towards me while I was going backwards. And then we hit an embankment, sort of a 45-degree embankment on Sand Hill, which tossed the car into the air like a discus. And it kept rotating with about 3 foot of air clearance, according to witnesses. And then slammed down on the ground, going the original direction. And we blew the suspension out. Now, it didn't actually wreck the car. The core chassis and the engine were okay.
Thank God.
But all the glass and the wheels and everything was shredded, and there was massive body damage in the front and rear. Yeah.
And did you start laughing?
I don't recall laughing. I could have been laughing in shock, but I don't recall laughing. And then Peter hitched a ride to Mike. I waited while the fire truck and the ambulance arrived. And then finally
Did Peter Thiel literally hitch a ride?
Over to Sequoia and then once the car was taken care of, then I hitched a ride too, and we continued the meeting.
I'm picturing you and Peter Thiel like that scene in Tommy Boy, where like the deer, and you're both like and like.
Yeah, really.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a parallel?
Lucky to be alive, really.
I should say so.
Yeah.
Is there a parallel with how you build companies in that story?
I hope not.
Let's see what this thing can do.
Yeah, watch this. That could be awkward with a rocket launch.